If you've ever tried to make a Christmas lo-fi beat and it just sounds like a regular beat with sleigh bells slapped on top, don't worry. In today's episode I'll show you the real secrets behind warm, nostalgic Christmas lo-fi, so your tracks instantly hit with that festive vibe without sounding too cheesy.
You're listening to the Lo-Fi Music Academy podcast, your go-to space for all things lo-fi. Sit back, relax, and let's dive into the world of lo-fi music production.
Hi, and welcome to the Lo-Fi Music Academy podcast. I'm Spencer J, your guide through the chilled-out, atmospheric world of lo-fi beats. If you're new here, I'm glad you found this cozy corner of creativity. And if you've been with me for a while, then welcome back. Grab a hot chocolate, grab a blanket, or grab whatever winter comfort you need, because today we're unlocking your Christmas lo-fi hits. And yes, I said hits, because whether your audience is tiny, huge, or somewhere in between, Christmas lo-fi is one of the easiest ways to get your music heard by thousands of people who are actively searching for this kind of vibe. But here's the part nobody tells producers. You don't need a sleigh bell, a jazz chord, and a jingle bell sample to make a track feel Christmassy. There are some extremely simple, subtle ways that you can do this that make Christmas lo-fi feel warm, nostalgic, and instantly seasonal. And today we're diving deep into them, so let's get into it. Alright, let's start here. Christmas lo-fi absolutely explodes every December, but not because producers suddenly unlock new superpowers. It's because listeners crave familiarity. Think about it for a moment. Christmas is one of the few times of the year when you can play the same songs, the same chords, the same moods, and people are happy about it. They want comfort. They want nostalgia. They want that I've heard this before, but it feels new somehow, with a new energy. And that's exactly where lo-fi shines. Lo-fi takes a familiar emotion, memory, and it filters through warmth and gives it back in a modern way. So the question becomes, how do you recreate that feeling of Christmas without ripping off Christmas songs? And that's what the rest of this episode is all about. Let's talk Christmas harmony for a moment, but don't worry, I'm not sending you into chord math territory here. Christmas harmony basically lives in one idea, major chords with a hint of tension, and that's it. That's the magic sauce. Let me break it down in a simple way that you can use today. Start with a major chord and end emotional. Christmas melodies usually start bright, think C major, A major, D major, very open. But then they sneak in something wistful, like a relative minor moment, a major seventh that feels dreamy, or a second chord that kind of lifts the mood. Tiny shifts that say, this is happy, but also nostalgic at the same time. Try this progression, C, A minor, D minor, G, and boom, you've instantly got seasonal energy. It's like Christmas in 4 chords. Or if you want something more vintage romance, almost movie-like, F, G, E minor, A minor. Don't overthink it. If your chords feel too busy, too jazzy, too tense, pull it back a little. Christmas chords are simple but thoughtful. Now here's the fun part, the melody. A lot of producers think the melody has to be super Christmassy, a bit like Jingle Bells but different. The real trick is to use a stepwise motion. Don't jump all over the scale and don't show off. Just walk up and down, a bit like a lullaby. Think of old music boxes. They move slow, but they repeat often. They feel like childhood memories. And you can do the same, and here's a simple formula. Just walk up 3 notes and then walk down 2. And then repeat that with a little bit of variation, and that's literally it. And if you want to make it feel even more winter nighttime vibes, play the melody with a soft bell tone or a dusty road sound, and you've got instant Christmas. Okay, so let's talk about sound choice, because this is where most producers either make magic or completely miss the vibe altogether. Here's the truth, you don't need sleigh bells, but you can use them, and I do like to. And you definitely don't need a big orchestral sound. And you don't need a Santa sound pack either. What you do need is tone and colour. And let me give you my go-to winter Christmassy lo-fi palette. Normally it'll be warm bells, not bright ones, warm ones. Think of a felt glockenspiel or a toy piano. Something that sounds like it came out of an attic in 1972. Then your dusty keys, a Rhodes, a felt piano. Basically anything that's soft, warm and emotional. Layering a bell with the Rhodes is ridiculously effective. And then you need some soft pads, and don't make these too ambient. Make sure the pads have movement and breath with a gentle reverb tail. A good pad kind of sounds like snowfall. And then you've got a shaker or a brush kit. Because Christmas isn't punchy, it's cosy. Avoid heavy kicks, avoid sharp hats. Think brushes, soft kicks, warm snares. And that's where the lo-fi Christmas magic is. If you take nothing else from this episode, take this. Christmas lo-fi is 40% chords, 10% melody, and 50% texture. Texture carries the nostalgia more than anything else. A few ideas to try is your vinyl crackle, not too loud, not harsh, just gentle. Think old records spinning while the fireplace is on. A little room noise, a soft room hum, some tape hiss. That stuff makes your track feel well lived in. And then some subtle wind or winter ambience. You don't need obvious sound effects, just a tiny bit of cold air sound that can create the space you're looking for. And think atmosphere, not gimmicks. Here's the part most producers forget. Christmas lo-fi isn't static, it gently evolves, but it's not dramatic and it's not like an EDM build-up, just a slow warm-up, a bit like you're defrosting a window. You could try this structure, your intro, your main, and then a warmer version of the main, and then your outro. And the warmer version adds a subtle pad or a double melody or some subtle harmony line. That way you're telling a small cosy story. If you really want listeners to go, oh wow, this really feels like my childhood, then there's one last trick to try, and that's to add something childlike, but subtle. Not jingles, not cartoon sound effects. Think soft music box, toy piano, or a whispered hum, even a gentle mallet hit, or maybe a distant choir pad sound. It's unrealistic, but emotional, and it's familiar, and that's the heart of Christmas lo-fi. Okay, my friend, so that's your Christmas lo-fi hit blueprint. And the best part, you can take everything we've talked about today and apply it to your next track. Just remember, Christmas lo-fi isn't about cliches, it's about warmth, memory, and gentle emotion. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider subscribing, leaving a review, or sharing it with fellow music producers who might find it useful. Until next time, keep creating, stay inspired, and remember, it's all about the vibe. Take care and see you in the next episode.
Thanks for tuning in to the Lo-Fi Music Academy podcast. If you're ready to start making lo-fi music and want to go even deeper, grab your free guide. Discover the 6 essential steps to create a release-ready lo-fi track from scratch. Whether you're using budget gear in your bedroom or a small home studio, this guide will help you get that polished, dreamy lo-fi sound you're after. Just go to www.lofimusicacademy.com. Until next time, keep creating those laid-back vibes, and don't forget to subscribe for more lo-fi tips and tricks.